Hi guys, Eric the Tech Guru here. So I know a lot of you really like to game, but you also might not have that much money for your gaming PC. That's why today, I have for you a $500 budget gaming PC build guide. Now just a few disclaimers before we begin. It's currently August 2014, and all of the parts are chosen based off of price and availability at this time. Prices do not include shipping. Prices are based off of the prices listed on PCPartPicker.com. Remember, this is only a recommendation for a $500 bracket, so if you've got a little bit more to spend, you can always give or take a little bit in different parts. So now we'll begin with the CPU, or should I say APU for this specific build. For this particular rig, we're going with AMD's A10 7850K APU. If you don't know what an APU is, it's a combination of a GPU and a CPU, brought together by the magic of AMD. In this price bracket, the price to performance ratio of an APU is greater than that of any CPU and GPU combinations. The clock speed of our A10 is 3.7 GHz base clock with up to 4.1 GHz boost clock. It's a quad-core APU, giving us plenty of cores for multi-threaded processes. The built-in GPU is a Radeon R7 series. This GPU has 512 processing cores clocked around 800 MHz. Although you're not getting dedicated graphics card performance out of it, you still are getting better than just a bare CPU. The price for this component is a cool $167 at Outlet PC, shipping not included. Now, most budget rigs don't include a CPU cooler, but for this particular APU, I feel that we should include an aftermarket cooler, just because it's got a lot of overclockability. To this extent, I decided that we should use a Hyper 212 Evo. The Hyper 212 Evo by Cooler Master is cheap, it's effective, and it's reliable. In all of the rigs I've ever made, if I'm ever going air cooling and I need a cheap aftermarket cooler, I always go with the Hyper 212 Evo. The Hyper 212 Evo will cost you $35 at Outlet PC. And now for the motherboard. Because of the budget of this rig, getting a full-size ATX case and motherboard can be a bit pricey. So we're actually going with a micro ATX motherboard and a micro ATX case. For this build, I've picked out the MSI A78E35M motherboard. This motherboard is a great value, it fits where we need it to, and it has all of the components that we need for this rig. With its maximum RAM of 16GB, USB 3.0 support, and all of the chipsets you need to run an AMD APU, this motherboard truly is the best for this rig. It even comes with onboard support for our displays. This motherboard will run you $58 on Newegg. Now for RAM. RAM in a budget rig is always a bit of a tricky situation. Because one, you want some reliable RAM that's going to perform fairly well, but two, you are crunched for money, so you can't always get the higher capacity modules that you'd like. So for this build, I chose G.Skill Aries 8GB kit with two 1866 MHz 4GB modules. When it comes to a $500 gaming PC, 8GB of RAM is all you really need. G.Skill is also quite a reliable brand. I've used a lot of their products in previous builds and they never fail. All in all, this RAM will run you $77 at Newegg. Now it's time for the hard drive, which is always a bit of a controversial topic when talking about budget rigs. Given SSD technology these days, you'd think that getting a cheap, small capacity SSD would be your best option. The way I see it, if you're going to be gaming, you're going to need a lot of space. And the Western Digital Caviar Blue that I picked out has all of the space that you need. At 7200 RPMs and 1TB of storage, this hard drive beats all of the others in its price bracket. It has a 64MB cache, offering much faster data access rates, as well as Western Digital's 3-year product warranty. Western Digital has always been a very reliable maker of hard drives, with their Caviar Black series being their most reliable. Unfortunately, we don't have the budget to spring for a Caviar Black, so we're going with their Caviar Blue Consumer Edition. This hard drive will run you $63 at Outlet PC. There are a few mail-in rebates that you might get with it, so it could bring your price down by a little bit if you actually send those in. Now it's time for the power supply. The power supply that we chose for this rig is the Corsair CX430 series. This power supply is semi-modular, meaning that the main connectors for your motherboard, such as the 20+4 pin connector and the 12-volt rail connector, are hardwired into the power supply. All PCI Express and SATA cables are additional cables that plug into the power supply. This gets rid of cable clutter in our case. The power supply is also Bronze Plus certified, meaning it's probably not going to blow up anytime soon. The CX430M will run you a cool $55 at Newegg. But at this time, there is a $10 mail-in rebate which can get your price down under $500. Finally, for the case and DVD drive. If you don't want a DVD drive, you don't have to get one, but we do recommend that you get a DVD drive so that you can install your motherboard's drivers without having to use another computer. For the case, we picked a Roswell Line M series. They're micro ATX budget line cases. The case is compact and sleek with a black finish and plenty of room for air cooling. With its perforated design and 2 included stock fans, this is a perfect case for a budget air cooler. The case even has USB 3.0 support on the front panel, which is something you never see at this price range. This understated look can fit anywhere you might need it to be. And the best part? The case only runs you $43 on Amazon. The DVD drive we picked out is a fairly generic Asus DR-W24. The drive is cheap and easy, and it's really everything you need in a budget rig. At $20 on Outlet PC, the price is hard to beat. Remember, all prices do not include shipping. Alright guys, those are all the components you need for your $500 budget gaming rig. Don't forget to press that thumbs up or thumbs down button if you liked or disliked this video. You can also press that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. If you really want to know when my next video is coming out, you can click the email notification button to get a notification in your inbox every time I upload a new video. Remember guys, I want your feedback. So if you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Alright guys, that's all for now. Eric the Tech Guru signing off.